Why don't people just carry baby sea turtles to the ocean instead of making them crawl across the beach? It seems cruel. Seagulls circle above, crabs wait below to eat them, and every inch of sand is a fight to stay alive. But that crawl is everything. Sea turtles don't have gills, so if they laid eggs in the ocean, the babies would drown immediately. Instead, the mother buries her eggs deep in the sand, then leaves. When baby turtles hatch, they dig up through the sand and start crawling toward the waves. It can take hours, and most don't survive. But here's what's happening as they crawl. Their bodies are imprinting on the beach. They're memorizing the magnetic field, the texture of the sand, the angle of sunlight. This becomes their GPS. Decades later, when they're fully grown and ready to lay eggs, they'll swim thousands of miles back to this exact beach. But if you skip the crawl and carry them to the water, they never get that imprint. They'll survive, but they'll never know where home is. And without that memory, an entire generation is lost. This man building a roof entirely out of grass. It looks like it would rot in the rain, but this is actually one of the most advanced construction methods in history. It's called thatching, and people in the UK and Ireland have been using this technique for over 4,500 years. By using a ridged paddle to beat the straw, they pack the layers so tightly that they create a natural barrier against wind and rain. It doesn't just keep water out. The thick layers of reed absorb heat during the day and store it, keeping the house incredibly warm during cold night. But there's a catch. After a few years, the roof will turn completely green as it gets covered in thick moss. If you don't scrape it off, that moss acts like a sponge and starts rotting the roof from the inside.
This little guy quit his job and walked away from city life. He used his savings to buy a piece of land in the countryside. When he arrived, there was nothing there. One thing stood out, an old tree that cast perfect shade, so he decided to build around it. He started with a wooden platform, then added a railing and a roof built around the trunk. When it was finished, it became a simple outdoor lounge. Now he eats breakfast there every morning, looking out toward the mountains. To feed himself, he decided to raise chickens. Instead of buying an expensive coop, he reused plastic containers, cut them down, and built a two-tiered wooden rack. He lined the containers with straw, and the hens moved in right away. Next, he built a raised garden bed for fresh vegetables. He framed it with wooden planks, added curved supports, draped shade netting over the top, then filled it with soil and planted seeds. A few weeks later, lettuce and cabbage were growing thick and green. Standing there, looking at food he'd grown himself, the choice felt clear.